Hi guys, I created this video in order to help players that are reffing the game know what to look for. We're going to go over a few different things such as pack masking, pack manipulation, something called the tuck and lean shot, covering sensors while walking through the arena, base zones and where to stand inside the base, and some other general knowledge that'll just help players understand when they need to terminate a player in the game. When it comes to pack manipulation, a lot of players either don't clip up both clips in the front here, or they don't fully tighten the side straps, so make sure that the side straps are fully tightened. If it comes loose in the game, just tighten it back up. If a player has one side completely loosened, they can pull the pack to the side and it'll allow them to cover without fully putting their arm in front of their chest, because their pack is off to the side now that it's fully loosened here. The main thing that we want to take away from a reach shot is when it's okay and when it's not. You should never extend for a reach until you have the opportunity to shoot. So it should be in one motion as you're in the base. It shouldn't be a reach in front of the chest, stop, shoot, and then come back. It should just be one full motion, shoot, come back. As a site operator, a new rule that I'm introducing this year is the phaser strap rule. And if a player is caught after the game leaving a knot in their phaser strap, their score will be reduced to 0. When communicating with your teammates, it's okay to yell, it's okay to shout. If you're doing this intentionally to cover the sound of another player's vest, you'll be terminated for this. Hand sensors will be turned off for this tournament, but that does not mean you can shoot with just one hand. You do have to use 2 hands in order to fire, so make sure that the second hand is anywhere on the plastic. It's not like Helios Pro phasers where you can't touch the top. You can hold the phaser anywhere you'd like. If you have a pack malfunction during the game, find a game master inside or outside the base, have them take you to the vesting room, get you a new pack, and you'll be on your way. Next, we're gonna go inside the arena to go over some in-game rules. All right guys, we're gonna go over the tuck and lean shot. This is an illegal move when players come in the base. I'm gonna provide an example for you. Players will come in, and they'll tuck here, phaser behind the hip, arm in front of the chest, keep coming in like this, and then they'll take a shot, and then they'll back up and do it again. Here's another example of the tuck and lean shot, but while defending the base instead of attacking. So this player here on the wall will take their arm, put it in front of their chest, put their phaser behind their hip, and lean with their back against the wall. That way the player coming inside attacking can no longer tag them. So down here you'll notice that there's a line with 2 triangles inside. This is to make sure players aren't taking the base with more than one person in each triangle and no third person in between. So sometimes players would take a base down here like this, with one player to the side of them, the other player to this side, and when people would come in, they couldn't get shot. So this is illegal. It's a level 2 termination if it happens. You're also not allowed to protrude, which means you're not allowed to stick your elbow out like this, as it's a safety hazard for somebody coming in or trying to get out. So make sure your elbows are always against the wall, not protruding. Same with your feet. Feet should not stick out from the wall unless it's in the motion of a fire and then it's brought back. That way you can actually see who's around the corner. So next I want to talk about what's called the chin lock. Players defending a base often have their back against the wall with their shoulder like this and their chin on their shoulder. However, this is illegal. If you're playing with your back against the wall, you can look over your shoulder. You just can't put your chin on your shoulder. This will be a termination if you do so. And make sure that your beard is not covering any lights on the shoulder sensors, like so. One more example of the chin lock rule here in red base with my back to the wall. As soon as I look over my shoulder and I drop my chin to the vest fabric, it's now a termination. As well as anybody leaning over like this, if their beard is too long and it covers any of the lights here like this, and even though I'm not touching the shoulder, my beard is covering the lights, and any player trying to tag me in the shoulder here can no longer do so from the obstruction of my beard. Next, what we're gonna cover is arena movement. You should always be in a low stance or a high stance while moving throughout the arena. Your arms should never be in front of your chest, nor should your phaser ever be in front of your chest for any reason when walking around the arena. This should be a termination. If you're a roaming ref, make sure you terminate any players you see doing this. Now we've implemented some no standing zones, which are these boxes outside of each base. This just means that you cannot stand in the box whether you're on or you're off. It is only a pass-through area, so if you would like to pass through, you can walk through the box, it's no big deal. When exiting a base, it is very important that you're verbal about it. You should always stay to the outside wall if possible. If I come out like this, a player coming in from here is going to do the same thing, and they're going to come in and crash into me. All right, guys, now I want to talk about a drooping elbow shot. So a lot of players, when taking the base, will droop their elbow in front of their chest. This blocks their pack sensors in the front, so that players coming in can no longer tag them. If you see players drooping their elbow in front of their chest while taking the base, you can warn them to move their arms. If there are players outside the base, I would give them an automatic termination with no warning. Next, I want to talk about covering inside the base while defending. A lot of players play with their back to the wall, which is completely fine. The only thing that's illegal here is when they put their arm out in front and move to the side so that a player trying to attack can no longer tag them. If any player is caught doing so, they should be terminated. This next rule I want to talk about is just a lean shot with a forearm in front of the chest. It can be illegal at times when players enter the base. Here's an example of somebody coming in the base with a lean shot and the forearm in the front, forming a 90-degree angle. So lean back like this, and you can no longer tag them in the chest if you're in a low stance. As always, captains do have the right to vote on rules before the event begins, and I hope you guys found this video informative and it will help hold each other accountable during the games.